2月22日午前1時、深夜放送アクロスザビューの時間となりました。おはようございます。ホストのモーリー・ロバートソンです。1986年の年明け、僕と作曲家アタウ・タナカはボストンの寒い夜、そうちょうど今夜の寒さに輪をかけたような夜、巨大ライブハウスザ・チャンネルにザ・レジデンツの13周年結成ライブを見に行きました。ザ・レジデンツはサンフランシスコ出身とされる地下活動本位のバンドで老舗とされています。実際の出身はルイジアンナ州だという推測も成り立ちます。日本では1970年代末期から輸入版レコード屋で目玉親父がシルクハットをかぶったあの人たちとして知る人は知っている顔ぶれとなっていました。1986年の寒い夜、レジデンツを初めて目の前にして僕は強大な音楽的平野が開けていくのを感じました。とりあえず目玉を本当にかぶって彼らは出てきました。彼女たちだったのかもしれない。後年亡くなったスネークフィンガーというギタリストもワイヤレスギターを白い衣装で当時は元気に跳ねて弾いていました。彼らの音はライブの一つ分が全てコンピューターに、いやシークエンサーにカラオケのように入っていて、振り付けや踊りの台本も共に変わっていくものでした。音楽についての音楽、音に対して一度偏見や決まりを抜き取り、ルールなきままロックらしき音、いかがわしい音楽を出すザ・レジデンツを耳栓越しに聞き、よかったと思いました。その後、音と光は必ず連結して起こっているものだというビジョンを得ましたが、レジデンツはそのビジョンにも貢献していました。そのレジデンツがこの度 CD ロム出版を記念して幕張のマックエキスポに出演します。一足先に拠点であるサンフランシスコの事務所に今夜電話をすることになっています。レジデンツは目玉をかぶったままメンバーは20年以上も人前に顔を現していません。今夜のインタビューもレジデンツ自体ではなくて、障害の任務を請け負うスポークスマンのホーマー・フリンさんにお話をすることになっています。ザ・レジデンツの東京とのリンク第1回を今夜はお届けしましょう。その夜がとうとうやってきました。日本シオグループ Across the View、 今日も地球サイズの雑談と音楽で午前3時まで突っ走ります。
Way since my baby left me, I found a new place to dwell, down at the end of lonely street at Heartbreak Hotel, where it gets lonely, baby. It gets so lonely, it gets so lonely you could die. Well, though it's always crowded, you still can find some room for broken-hearted lovers to die, but not too soon. You get so lonely, baby, you gotta get lonely. You get so lonely you could die. The bellhop is keep blowing, the desk clerks dressed in black, living so long on lonely street they never look back. 'Cause they got so lonely, baby, they got so lonely
Ça bouge sur 81.3 FM Japon.
サウンドクリエイターに命を吹き込まれた新しい音の形。限りない発想が新鮮な音を奏でます。新しい地球の歌に心ときめかせて。新日鉄。
Imagine and step into a new world. Nippon Steel。
明るいビジネス宣言。
私たち日鉄ライフは
不動産事業を中心に
ホテルレストランなどの経営まで
より豊かな生活づくりのために
正々堂々と力の限り
そこそこ楽しくビジネスすることを誓います。
もう一つ先の暮らしを見つめて日鉄ライフ。
元気か？俺だって社会人なのよ。ということでいよいよレジデンツの事務所ザ・クリプティックコーポレーションにお電話をつないでみよう。ホトトギス。あ、電話がつながっているようです。 Okay, I'm on the air now. Okay, well, Mr. Homer Flynn, let me just check one thing for starters. Did I see you on stage in Washington, D.C. during the 1980s? During the Moshow Opera?
Well, you didn't see me on stage.
Okay.
The residents were on stage.
Oh, okay. There was somebody who didn't seem to be a direct member, who was like a spokesman, who kept appearing on stage.
Actually, who that person was the residence manager at that time.
At that time?
Right.
I see. So you're the current person
right.
in charge.
Historically, I have been the person who has done most of their graphics.
Oh.
And album covers and, done a lot of the art direction for videos.
I see.
But at that time, they were managed by a group in L.A. called Lookout Management. That was a guy named Bill Gerber.
Oh, right. I remember the name now. It was on the program.
Right.
Okay, so in that case, I didn't get to see you.
No.
I see. Well, did you also do the cover for Swinging Larvae?
No, actually, the cover for Swinging Larvae was done by Gary Panner.
Ah, I see.
And Gary was the art director for the Pee Wee Herman Show.
Oh.
As well as having done a lot of other, he's a painter and cartoonist, but the Pee Wee Herman credit is probably the thing he's best known for.
Really? That's quite surprising because I wasn't aware of that connection there. Okay, well, of course, the residents will be visiting Japan briefly as part of their new CD-ROM release.
Right.
And I was interested a little bit in going back in time, asking a few things.
Okay.
And, well, I guess in 1981, was it that the Ronaldo and Loaf record came out, or 1980? Somewhere around there.
Yeah, 80 or 81. I'm not
80
sure.
or 81. Well, I had just graduated from high school and received a very strong musical blow from it. It along with certain British underground labels, such as the pop group from Rough Trade.
Right.
That sort of music influenced me deeply. Drove me into changing majors from electronic engineering into synthesizers.
Good for you.
Yeah. So I'm actually an analog synthesizer specialist, which is a skill that's not really transferable in any monetary way, but it's enough to appreciate the Residents record in a deeper way, I think. And one of the things I always wanted to know, and this is a little bit from a fan-like point of view as well, is it seems from the credits on the album cover that many home tools were used instead of synthesizer or circuitry in creating the music for that.
You're speaking specifically about Ronaldo and the Loaf's album?
Yeah, and some other albums as well, maybe.
I think that Ronaldo and the Loaf primarily recorded in the bedroom of one of their parents.
Oh.
And so, they used whatever they could get their hands on.
I see.
For them, really, the music was a hobby. One of them was an architect, and the other one was a chemist.
Oh.
And so it was really a hobby, and I think they used anything. There were certainly no rules for them, and they didn't have much access to equipment. So.
Oh, I understand. But you see, for me, what's really surprising is the quality of the recording. I mean, I had studied a little bit about DBX and noise reduction, etc. in college, but it seemed that there was quite skillful deployment of microphones and transducers in the recording of that stuff.
Well,
were they lucky?
Yeah, I really couldn't say. I mean, I was never really around when they were recording, but they were one of my favorite groups too. And I think that they did bring a lot of sophistication towards what they were doing.
I see.
Especially considering the conditions that they were working under.
I see. Were you involved in the film that was attached to it?
No, not really. I was sort of an observer. I was a photographer. I was doing the still photography on the set when it was happening. So
I see.
I watched it all happen, but I wasn't really involved in it other than as a photographer.
I see. What about the Skinny film? Did you take any of the photographs for that?
More or less the same role.
Oh,
yeah.
Same role. I see.
So those were done by a guy named Graham Whiffler. Who is in L.A. now. He's been in L.A. for about 10 years. And once again, I was like still photographer on those, but not really involved otherwise.
I see. Okay, well, I'm sure that when they come over, I might be able to, again, ask more questions about the analog circuitry and whatnot. I'd like to move on a little bit to the notion of sort of the group or collective creativity that the Residents have always seemed to imply in their design. Again, I think what I like about the Residents is the fact that their works were always the way they spoke. They didn't really make too many statements.
Well, from their point of view, they have always strongly intended that their work be seen as their statements and have consciously kept other statements to the side.
I see.
Or totally out of the picture.
Right. And it seems that there is a certain focus on the idea of, how should I say, interaction as part of the expression, as opposed to, individual naming, or the idea of, how should I say, maybe in extreme terms, genius as expressed by one person attached to their name.
Well, the Resonance is definitely an ongoing collaborative form.
Yes.
And they strongly see it that way. Mm-hmm. And none of them see themselves as necessarily that interesting outside of the collaboration.
I see.
But they feel like there's something that they bring to it that causes that collaboration to be unique.
Maybe that lends to the kind of openness towards the merger of visuals with the sounds?
Possibly so. I mean, I think that part of the thing with the Resonance is that they were never that particularly well trained at anything. So that just made them open to, creativity in different forms.
I see.
And they always saw the visual side of it virtually as important as the musical side of it. It's just that, it costs so much more money in order to be able to create the kind of visuals that they feel like they needed to complement their work, that up until the CD-ROM era, they've always felt that their visual side of things has gone primarily unspoken, at least in terms of as full as they would like to have seen it.
I think that the severe limitations, because I was working in independent animation and abstract films myself, a lot of limitations came in the distribution network.
Right.
Is that, before compact discs, LP albums released in, say, subterranean fashion seem to get around much more easily in the United States, especially, than, say, trying to get a roll of film shown in theaters across America.
Yeah, well, it's virtually impossible. I mean, the Residents were sort of right there with Devo in the, the late 70s, early 80s in having promotional films that were being shown around, midnight movies and stuff.
Yeah.
With Eraserhead when all that was happening. But the thing is, that's incredibly limited. That's like one or two theaters in, New York and LA and San Francisco and a few other places. And it's certainly not really getting any kind of distribution.
I see.
And the film end of things is virtually completely tied up.
I see.
Worse than the music business.
Yeah. But what to me is interesting is the kind of, was it 16 millimeters that they shot the Swinging Larvae series of films?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought so from the texture. But to me it seemed in a way, looking at the works that have occurred since as well, maybe from the film viewing side, I felt that the Swinging Larvae films reached a certain height in the compact and condensedness of their work. Strangely, even though you're saying that they were working under, severe constraints, it seems that maybe those constraints contributed positively for at least those works.
Yeah, but the thing is, I think that they would have been happy to have continued to work that way if the budgets had been there even to do that.
I see.
But the problem is that, they really saw music video as a wide open emerging new field, which it was in like 1980 or 81.
Yeah, sure.
But by the time the mid-80s had come along, especially the late 80s, it was as controlled as anything else. And,
I see.
MTV essentially, doesn't show anything that the music doesn't fit into very convenient, well-established categories.
Yes.
And the material has to come to them from major labels.
Yeah.
It's just it's as narrow and conservative as anything else now.
Yeah, I see.
And the problem was that the residents couldn't justify spending the money on these things that ultimately never got shown anywhere.
Oh, I see. But then with the CD-ROM era coming around, you're talking about really low prices per disc of pressing.
Right.
Because it's basically a big chunk of binary transfer onto the CD-ROM medium, which is quite different from, say, printing silver and negative.
Oh, sure, absolutely. Yeah, there's no question about it in terms of cost, and film now is just totally astronomical.
And so that leads into another question that I wanted to ask, or maybe the residents' view or the whiff, is the kind of environment and scene which the residents have participated in their long career. Overall, looking back in the landscape across time, what are the vectors that led to growth, positive growth, and what are the vectors that led towards degeneration surrounding them?
Well, the things that led towards growth, I think, were a healthy interest in film and music. If you things from Fellini on one side and Frank Zappa and Captain Beefheart on the other side, and if you look at what the residents have done, you can kind of see them as the union of those kind of ideas or directions. In terms of the degeneration, I suppose things that have led in degenerative directions have been more like either conflicts within the group or personal conflicts, which have led them into periods of malaise, whatever, that they then have had to work out of.
I see. So which are basically human steps in having a healthy or say a mature collaboration going on.
Also too, I think that it got to be around the late 80s or early 90s, and the residents, what really pushed them more than anything else towards CD-ROM, or one of the things that did, was the fact that it seemed like there was no place for them in the music business anymore.
Oh, because the market was being squeezed out.
Right, exactly. The market was becoming more and more conservative and more narrowly defined. If you go back to the late 70s and early 80s, and the openness that was there then, and then you bring that 10 to 15 years forward, there was less and less place for them.
I see.
And once again, when then they started sensing this openness in the CD-ROM world that they had felt in the music world, back in the 70s. Once again, that was a strong kind of forces for degeneration and regeneration.
I see. That's quite interesting because we're looking at, the malaise of several aspects of the infrastructure of, like they say, the United States period right now. I think in all tiers of the society, from administration downwards, down to the individual, hopeful, thriving artists. And it seems that the problems that occurred with the advent of MTV and the sort of locking up of the market after this moment of, say, late 70s, early 80s hope that seemed to glimmer there, seems to be almost, synonymous with some of the problems that the American country is experiencing.
Well, I mean, it only sort of makes sense, I suppose, in a way. I mean, if you see these things as real problems and real situations, it makes sense that they would sort of reflect and echo throughout society.
I see.
And, it makes sense, although, you also, anytime you have a situation like that, you have exceptional pockets within it. And I think that the computer business and CD-ROM, in a way, is an exceptional pocket within that now.
Right.
It's resonating in a very healthy way.
Yeah.
And the residents, if anything, are going as strong, if not stronger than ever at this point, because of, the access to tools and finance, and two, just, the acceptance that they're getting. I mean, it's, the residents never felt like they needed a huge audience out there clamoring for their work. On the other hand, it can be very discouraging to feel like you just put things out year after year into a vacuum.
Right.
And at this point, they certainly don't feel that way. They feel that there's genuine interest in what they're doing, and they're excited and energized by that.
I see.
I mean, this phone call is a good example of that.
Yeah, well, you see, what's very interesting is being a bilingual person and bicultural person, having experienced the 80s in America as a college student and an analog synthesist who worked in the vacuum and who is getting some respect in this country right now just because I work in the media. I would say that Japan has some also undefined pockets of hopefulness and places that could widely accept new forms of expression. Such as the residents. I've known a lot of musicians and graphic artists in this country whom I hang out with who are very open to a lot of the past works that the residents have released as well. So, in closing, I would like to make a friendly offering or a suggestion almost for the future of the residents is that since they are going to visit Japan maybe more than once in the future, I would think that it would be very nice if there can be some experimentation of collaborating with Japanese indigenous artists.
Well, once again, the residents are an ongoing collaborative form, so, they're constantly looking for new people to work with, and I think if they could find some meaningful Japanese collaborators, they'd be very pleased with the idea.
And what's interesting is that I've heard from some people working at the company OSC that the residents use digital recording formats,
right,
such as the Deck 2 program and whatnot.
Right.
Well, more Japanese people are using similar programs on similar machines, so that there's almost like a open possibility for collaborating in a similar sound format as well. So you see, there are certain structural channels which would actually facilitate concrete models of collaboration in the future, I think, right at this moment.
Right.
Okay, well, that's very promising. So it would be nice if in the future these talks can become ongoing and result in concrete examples.
Sure. Once again, the residents are very open. They are very collaborative. Their collaborations, for the most part, have a tendency to follow their personal relationships. And so consequently, a lot of it has to do with, people that they sort of come in contact with and can spend enough time with that they then feel comfortable.
I see.
In what's relatively an intimate situation. I mean, obviously not physically intimate, but intimate from a creative point of view.
I see. So, for instance, if we were to be observing one another's multi-track, scores and master tapes again and again, that can increase the intimacy. As one example, right? That could be probably, examining one another's waveforms on display could probably be the most intimate way to know somebody.
Potentially, yeah. No, I can certainly understand that.
I understand. Well, that's really encouraging to hear this. And I understand you're going to be having your conference on the 26th over here, our time?
Yeah, right.
Okay, right. Well, I'd like to participate in the conference. I'll be visiting you all from the press side, so I'll make an introduction of myself in person then.
Okay, great.
Okay, well,
I look forward to meeting you more.
Mr. Homerflint, thank you so much for appearing on this radio show.
Okay.
I look forward to seeing you in person.
Yeah, me too. I look forward to being there.
Okay, see ya.
Okay.
Yeah,
bye-bye.
Bye-bye. はい、レジデンツのスポークスマン ホーマー・フリンさんとお話をいたしました。彼は初期のレジデンツとずっと付き合っている人で、一時マネージャーとしては抜けまして、また最近復活した方なんですけれども、初期のレジデンツのアルバムのグラフィックをほとんど彼が担当しています。そしてレジデンツが時々名前を変えていろいろなその偽名のもとに、アルバムを出したりフィルムを作ったりしていたんですけれども、そこにも、スチールフォトグラフィーの面で彼は関わり続けていました。差し当たって僕は、ホーマー・フリンさんにとりあえずミーハーとして、レジデンツのアルバムの中で一番気に入っている作品について、質問をまずしてみました。レナルド&ローフ、もしくは、Dance Tunes for Swinging Larvae 踊る幼虫のための、楽曲というのかな、そういったアルバムがこう1980年81年の日本では、一部で相当に売れたんです。それも聞いていました。これは例えば目で覚えている人がいるかもしれませんね。ある、パーティードレスを着た女性のお顔が、なんか幼虫の顔に変身しているという絵なんですけれども、木彫りのような結構スタイリッシュな絵でした。このレナルド&ローフというのは非常にこの独特な音色がいろいろと用いられて、しかもシンセサイザー電子回路は一切使っていませんという断り書きがアルバムのライナーノーツについていました。そこでどういう風にしてなんかビリビリ音を出していたんですかということからまず聞いていました。どうもフリンさんは、メンバーに直接その当時は関わっていなかったのだけれども、聞いていたところではとりあえず、レナルド&ローフというのは2人組だった。レジデンツのうちの2人だったらしいですね。1人は建築技師、もう1人は化学者、ケミストでした。2人とも音楽は趣味程度にしか興味を持っていない段階だったから、別に音楽的に考えてはいなかったらしいです。で、どちらかのメンバーのご両親のお家にで、そのレコードを丸ごと8トラ形式で撮ったので、そこにあった家財道具や、台所用品を矢継ぎ早に、手の出るものから先に音にして出していったということなんですね。そういう風にして本当にそれこそ、ルイージ・ルソーロという未来派の人が、今世紀の初め、第一次世界大戦の前夜に、唱えたアート・オブ・ノイズ、雑音音楽というものを、くしくも彼らは、ほぼ完璧な形で一回、実現させていたわけなんです。そして、その後のレジデンツについて一般ということでいろいろ話を聞いてみたのですが、とりあえず、集団的な想像力、匿名性を大事にするレジデンツというグループは、一言で言えば動きのあるフォルム、form in motion という言い方をされていました。動きのある形式という動いている団体ですね。絶えず内部が変わっているし、自分たちの興味の矛先も変わるがままにそれを音楽に反映しているグループであります。そして彼らのメッセージは作品本位であって、あまり作品や自分たちのについての、説明だとか自分たちの美術を理論化して言葉として、外に出していくことはありません。そこに彼らのコピーライトを放棄したと思われる、それから同時に才能という言葉の規制をも、一回下脱したと思われるクリエイティビティがみなぎっているのではないかと思われました。一種の謙遜だと思うのですが、団体の外ではそれぞれのメンバーは大したことはないと自分たちのことを思っているそうです。技術的にもほとんど訓練されていないので実験をせざるを得ないというのが自分たちの創作過程でもあるとハワード・フリンツさんはおっしゃっていました。そして視覚化を、いつも 16mm フィルムを撮ったりして、自分たちの、音とともに絶えず、いろいろな形式で、映画を撮ったりもしてきましたけれども、これは70年代から80年代にかけてはほとんど微々たる露出や配給しか、受け取ることができませんでした。これはやっぱり映画産業の問題ということだったそうです。その障壁を、乗り越えようとして、七転八倒していくうちに、とうとう90年代に入って CD ロム時代の幕開けを経験し、それとともに新たな自由度を獲得したという見解を持っておられます。現在配給の面では非常に CD ロムというのは、市場がオープンになりつつあるので、感覚的なものが、売れやすいということもあり、恩恵を被っているようです。彼らの音楽が一番活躍していたのは1970年代末から1980年代前半だと言われております。それが第1期活性レジデンツだということなんですけれども、この時期というのは、そうですね、アメリカでは他にちょっと似通ったような系列では DEVO というグループもありました。それから DEVO なんかにつながっていたいろいろなそのちょっと前衛的な、南部のグループですね、サブジーニアス協会というものなどもありました。これは結構アメリカのアーティストの間で有名な集団です。このような集団が活躍している中で、特に LP レコードですね、ビニール形式のレコードは、いわゆるその地下出版とでも言うのか、インデペンデントレーベルでアメリカ中に配給されるルートを確保されました。一方ですね、ビデオとか、フィルムというものはなかなか配給がやはり追いつかなかった。そして、1970年代の初期にですね、72年か73年あたりにレジデンツはなんとミュー ジックビデオの原型の創始者であって、先にそのフォルムを一回模索してそれで途切れたわけなんですけれども、10年後1980年代に入って MTV などを中心にミュージックビデオという媒体が真剣な商業媒体に成長しました。ところが、この市場の操作などの結果もあって、レジデンツの音楽やレジデンツの作品というのはどんどんと市場から締め出されていったわけなんですね。ですから、ここ十何年20年を振り返ってレジデンツが自分たちが一番成長したのは興味の赴くままに、映画であれ音楽であれ、まるでフェリーニとザッパが共演したかのように、広がりを持てたことだったと思うというふうにフリンさんはおっしゃっていました。一方レジデンツの内部でこの萎縮したベクトルですね、成長とは逆に対抗したベクトルがあるとすれば、時々メンバーの、人間的な面で仲が悪くなったりもしたので、その間は、ちょっと活動がね、お休みになったりもするような状況があったらしいです。非常に人間的な成長を、経験してこの度初めてではないんですけれども、CD ロムを引っ提げて日本にやってくるレジデンツです。日本のアーティストとのコラボレーションなどを広くやる気はありませんかと振ってみたところ、大いにありということだったので、わかりました、以後一つの窓口として私も役に立ちましょう。このようなにこやかな会話とともに電話を置かせていただいた次第でございます。そしてレジデンツのジンジャーブレッドマンという CD ロム今日発売しました The Weaver という一曲です。織物職人の物語。
Seconds away could be a love that will last forever. But if it gets away, there might not ever be one.
Tries to. I know he loves me, but sometimes he seems so arrogant. And all he cares about is his words. So old. I need someone to help me. Adrian must be on his way home from school now. What if that guy follows him? Last time he told me about that man he had staring. I can see him with his throat cut now. Throat cut. Now why do I do this? I can see it all. Throat cut. School picture in the newspaper. Throat cut. A headline. Child savage slain. God, I wish he was home now.
Goodbye.
この後は作曲家アタウ田中との雑談に侵入してみたいと思います。
A lot of people change the oil in their car themselves. That's great. Then they toss the old oil in the trash. Bad. Want to know how bad?
BB キングは語ります。アメリカには自分で車のオイル交換をする人がたくさんいる。でも古いオイルをゴミとして捨てるのはいただけないね。なぜなら1年間でタンカー11隻分を無駄にしていることになるんだ。オイルはリサイクルすることができる。だからもし捨てようとしている人がいたら Take it back。 今リサイクルヒップな暮らし J-WAVE リサイクルムーブメント Take it back。
さあ13年ぶりのというか13周年を記念していたレジデンツにたまたま遭遇した、作曲家アタウ田中と私1986年のことでした。9年経った今彼はどこでどのように生きているのでしょうか。電話をしてみることにします。パリ。Hello, this is Morley.
Hello, Morley. How are
Hey,
you?
how are you doing? Pretty well.
I'm okay.
You know, I just spoke to Homer Flynn, who's the spokesman for the residents.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, well, they're coming to Tokyo this weekend for a Mac Expo, and we'll do a small concert accompanying the release of their Japanese version of Gingerbread Man.
Oh, they've already ported it to Japanese. That's great.
Well, you know, of course, there's no voiceover or anything, but there's, you know, the icons and certain, you know, letters. The lettering has been Japanized, and so that was why there was a month delay in between their original prototype release.
That's good.
Yeah. So, you know, they're pretty open-minded, it seems, like right now.
Well, I think they were always open-minded, the residents.
Yeah.
Well, since, you know, over 20 years. And it's just encouraging to see how they continue to be open-minded.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know, what was really interesting is that, well, a couple of things. One is that one of their sort of swinging larvae albums, which I always loved, it turned out that they recorded that in one of their parents' house.
Wow.
And they used mostly sort of home devices and kitchen devices to make the sounds. And they didn't use any synthesizers, but the album itself sounds very electronic in the end.
Which album was this?
This is Ronaldo and the Loaf. It's the album cover with the sort of debutante ball, you know, dressed up, with her face turning into like a locust face.
Right.
You would memorize it because they had films, 16mm films attached to their works for that thing. Yeah. So anyway, I was asking him about that stuff, and it turns out that they did that all in the house. They didn't use specialized electronics, for instance.
Wow.
Yeah, but the
those films are just fantastic. Those little films that they made.
Yeah, the 1-minute films.
Yeah.
And I think that we had good fortune to actually see it on the distributed end because apparently they went close to bankrupt out of just trying to distribute the films, and shooting them, of course, was in the red always.
Right.
And whereas in the late 70s and early 80s, there was a healthy distributive network of independent albums and LPs. Never such a thing with films. And before you knew it, it was the MTV era, and hence they were squeezed out to begin with.
Yeah, so now they sort of lash back with multimedia, which is at once ironic and at once encouraging. You know, I can't help but be a little cynical about it, but then at the same time, to know that some of the best artists in this realm are these strange guys that you and I have always loved.
Yeah, well, it turns out that they seem to be coming from a common origin as Devo and the Subgenius.
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't know about that.
Devo's always done some great films themselves.
Yeah.
You know?
So, you know, as Homer Flynn was telling me, no matter what happens to, say, the social infrastructure of the United States in general and the problems that it suffers, there are always accompanying pockets of freedom.
Right.
And right now in the computer industry, and especially in the CD-ROM software aspect, there seem to be very large, undefined horizons, and that's where the residents are finding their new life in.
Yep. Well, but at the same time, this technology arrives fully armed, which means that there's quite a large minimum configuration that's necessary to plunge into it, either as a user or as a developer. You know? And so, yeah, maybe we can compare it to the residents recording an album and filming a film in their parents' kitchen. And multimedia in some ways is like that, but also I think they're benefiting from the experience that they've had over 20 years and from the fact that they have established themselves to a certain degree to break into this market. And so at the same time, yeah, it's true that a hacker can have a Mac at home with a CD-ROM and make a great CD-ROM a la the Residents in the 70s. But still now the industry is so quickly made into show business that for that person to get attention or to make that weird underground distribution would be hard.
Oh, I see. So you're saying that, for the upstart, it's basically back to square one, back to 1976. And also,
and I say that the situation's even worse because media has jumped out. I mean, things move much faster now. I mean, the fact that the Japanese version of Gingerbread Man is only 1 month delayed means that the world is a much faster place now than waiting a year for a book to be translated into Japanese version and so forth. And I noticed that the technology lag between Europe and the U.S. is diminishing rapidly as well, whereas things used to be 2 years behind here. Now with all this craze in the internet and CD-ROM and multimedia, Paris is only 9 months behind.
I see.
And so the speed of things is making the world more of a unified place, but at the same time, this means it's unified in a way that the media moguls can sort of rape it much more quickly too.
And I guess, we're talking about squeezing out individual initiative and the aberrations, the positive benefits of aberrant behavior, because everybody starts getting square, trying to score the same kind of points.
Yes.
And that's problematic. Well, what's interesting is that the Residents have only played in Japan once before.
And that's out as an album, in fact.
That made an album.
And Snakefinger was still on there.
Yeah, he was around with us then.
Yeah.
And I was also recollecting to my audience how 9 years ago we together witnessed at the Channel in Boston their 13th year gig. Yeah. And do you still remember the little tune we made about the Residents after that?
Oh, let's see. Which one was that?
Okay, here it goes. You remember?
I think that was one of those chip sessions that I wasn't around for, in fact.
No, you were there because I did it in your room in Tacoma Park.
Oh, was it in... that Residence Oh, yeah. Wow, right. That's right. Yeah, that was the Residence got neoclassical.
Yeah. Neoclassical, right.
Oh, yeah. No, that was, 30-second music snippet. That was great.
Yeah. Well,
that
anyway...
was one of our all-time great collaborations, I think.
Well, there are more to come, I think.
Yeah.
And the thing is, as I was talking to Mr. Flynn right now, see, the Residents are very interested in the sort of open mind aspects, not just the open market aspects, which they earned. That's what we're really saying to each other. But they're also interested in ongoing collaboration as a form. And they're very it turns out that they are curious and interested in the idea of actively collaborating with artists in Tokyo.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I popped the question, of course, always being a matchmaker and a match myself, wanting to do something with them. Well, I said, why don't I just, become like a window or bridge, whatever you want to call it, between some active, worthwhile Japanese artists on this side, and, start getting something going on both ends.
Right.
Yeah. So that, we could, of course, be in the same place, but we can also send stuff back and forth, too.
Yeah, that's good. And I think it's nice to see, again, artists that are always coming from these great roots that we value, who become more established in their maturity, that maintain an openness to seeking out younger artists.
Yeah, I think so.
Because you can't stay the same forever, we all progress. And while we always have this wish that artists stay the same, and we say, oh, well, people sold out, or their new album doesn't sound like their first album, but then when you start being that, you start to say, well, how could you anyway,
Oh, yeah, and another thing is, as I've often sort of discussed this with my audience members as well, if you don't like an artist and the artist is living, why not collaborate with them and attempt to alter them? Because they'll influence you too, and it'll be a fair score. It's like arm wrestling in a way.
Yeah, it's really true. Why
it's a showdown.
Them? Why not try to help them? Because it's such a crazy job.
Yeah. So if you have second thoughts about anything that you hear and it's worthwhile because you value the artist per se, go and collaborate with them. And if there's somebody that you don't really need in your life, well, that just does it. That was the litmus test.
Right.
But in this case, with the residents coming over to Japan, I would love to see some threads and arteries grow over time, as opposed to having them as some kind of Hermes, or how should I say, like a Gucci bag, instead of turning the residents into yet another multimedia brand name.
Yeah.
Which is something that could easily be done, but why do it? There are more valuable things, there are more active things that could be done.
That's right.
Such as having them release stuff domestically here and stuff from here going back and forth.
Yeah, and I think Japan is a good place because I sort of feel a healthy new media underground happening there, whether it's in CD-ROM or what. And there's little elements of that here in Paris as well. And so, in fact, this weekend I'm going to be going to this crazy gallery space where they're going to be showing a few works and installations of this sort. And I've got some friends in that area. So, yeah, I mean, even though we work in media now and stuff, it's the same way as to stay in touch, I guess, with the underground.
And what's interesting to me is that, out of my, say, 4 years of experiencing the Japanese radio and just a little bit of TV over here, one of the trends or the sort of pictures that I'm starting to see is that maybe Tokyo, of all cities on the globe right now, is in fact undergoing a subtle change which is unique to itself, that is not duplicated in other Western nations.
Yeah.
And the idea is that maybe in this place, we might be able to come up with a very vivid art form or new form of expression which doesn't require a polarized underground. You know how we were talking about, the underground becomes a little sort of full-time job and a little
the
small...
chronic underground.
Yeah, and it's a place to just be sad in, and complaining. And But what if we got people sort of, I don't want to say above ground, but people who don't have to commit themselves to being counterpoise to society at large.
That's right. No, we always talked about surfing this point of interaction, the interface area, and which is what keeps us, one part under and the other part over, and then not completely separated. And you're right. I think that that could happen in Tokyo, and also, this is what we're always saying, is that the elements that are taking place now in sociological, technological history will really point out Tokyo and Japan as a whole as a very, very interesting potential for, as we always said, even 10 years ago, the next explosion. If Paris was that place in the 20s, where we had elements such as Cocteau and Stravinsky and Picasso, all hanging out in the same town with design and all that, and of course Paris remains a magical place in all these times. But back then, it must have been really great, and New York could have been like that in the 50s. 60s, and we've been talking as long as we've known each other for 10 years now. Well, where next? And Tokyo has always come up as a possibility. And more and more, it looks like that's true.
Yeah, and we've known each other for 12 years, actually.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, but that's okay.
Well, listen, there are a couple of years there, boy.
It's a couple gray hairs.
A couple gray hairs.
I think what we're talking about is, enriching the range of modulation, the sort of modulated range in which there's a lot of permission for deviance.
Right.
And, we should pick this up at a longer discussion in a future date. But I really think that certain physical, economic, infrastructural backdrops of Tokyo tend to point it in a very unique position, except with one clause here, where I can't expect Japan to just sort of do itself in to the good, for the better of evolving mankind. It needs a push. It needs initiative, and it needs a group of dedicated people who work together, who are gonna, damned if they don't have fun.
Right.
If that were to take place, this Tokyo could really become something new.
This Tokyo could be fun. Yeah, fun is the critical element here.
Yeah, fun Tokyo, or as I call it, a Tokyo.
Yeah, and that's what the Americans are best at, because they have the least obligation culturally as far as the depth of time that they're sort of looking after.
But right now they're obliged to their administrations.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Well, that's a whole nother interview.
Well, that's why you're in Paris and that's why I'm in Tokyo, maybe.
Yeah.
At least a portion of it, the reason,
Yeah,
right?
well, I'm heading to New York next week myself for a couple of weeks. Yeah.
Oh, really?
I've got a gig in Manhattan coming up. We're trying to set up a video conference gig, actually.
Oh, well, okay, that's pretty cool.
So I'll fill you in on all that. So
Fill
that's
me
a
in.
little bit why things have been crazy and you haven't been hearing from me in email. But,
well, maybe one day you'll hear me play your bass.
All right.
Yeah. Okay,
Did you
okay.
like it?
Yeah, I love it. I might buy it soon.
Oh, good.
So I'll keep in touch.
We'll discuss the details on the air.
We will.
We'll negotiate it publicly.
Thank you.
It's a public auction.
Okay. See ya.
Okay, ciao.
Yeah, ciao. ということでなんと12年間付き合ってきた作曲家ダウ田中とのお話でした。レジデンツがとりあえずその日本にやってきて、今その新しく開拓されつつある CD ロムの市場、その空間や平野で自分たちの活路を見出しているという話を、ハワード・フリンさんから聞いたホーマー・フリンさんですね。なぜかハワードっていう名前が好きなんだな。ハワード・ザ・ダックっていう映画なかったっけ。まあいいや、はい、あったみたいですね。とりあえずフリンさんから聞いた話をそのまま、ちょっと中継してみたのですが、ちょっとそれは皮肉な面があるねとダウ田中さんはおっしゃっていました。何しろ、CD ロムやマルチメディアという業界はある種その言い古された用語や、業界の思惑絡みのある種最初から儲かることを受け合いのね、ちょっとそういう意味では業界がんじがらめとして、共同制作のもとにね共同開発というのかな、みんなが儲かるように作られたものである分野なわけでしょ。ところがそこにそのいわゆる非常にその前衛的なレジデンツが、MTV とかビデオ業界とかレコード業界で自分たちの市場の締め出しを経験したために新たな活路を見つけて、そのある種売れ線しか、出ていない業界に入って、その中で唯一以下、差別化された商品としてどんどんと自分の活路を見つけているというのも、これまた皮肉な話だねということを言っていました。ところがですね、これは皮肉という言葉にはとどまらないわけでして、レジデンツはやはり、もう20年以上自分たちの表現というものを追求し続けて、非常に力強い作品を数々、いろんなバリエーションで出してきたグループです。ですから彼らが、この時点で、なんて言うんでしょうか、自分たちのその露出度とか自分たちの名声を、獲得して、その上で CD ロムに、CD の世界とかビデオの、フィルムの世界から乗り込んできたと言っても過言ではないかもしれません。つまりレジデンツは大物なんです。それでこの先その日本でレジデンツが具体的に日本のアーティストと、例えばアクロスを中継にしてもいいんですけれども、いろんな形でコラボレーションを始めて実際に作品が世の中に出ていった場合、それは、常々申している東京を亜東京、トランスフォーム、変態させていく一助となるやもしれません。
Attention please. Attention all passengers for the Boeing 727 of Cruzeiro from Rio de Janeiro to São Paulo, Porto Alegre and Buenos Aires. Please follow on to gate number 3 and have a good trip.
アナログかもしれないシンセサイザーのサンプルを聞いております。インターネットに始まる、世界を、巡らす光ファイバーなどのテレコム、通信媒体、通信網などは、情報の伝達に、即時性、僕は準即時性という呼び方をしておりますけれども、ほぼ、瞬間的な伝達を可能にします。バイナリーなデータ、つまり量子化された1や0の数字の巨大な量の羅列として、データ情報が、世界中に にこう伝わっていくということは、例えば、技術的な革新がアメリカで先に行われた場合、それが、9ヶ月遅れてヨーロッパに伝わるということを意味しています。これが数年前までは2年のタイムラグがありました。そしてレジデンツが、CD ロムを、英語バージョン、オリジナルバージョンで発表して、わずか、1ヶ月か2ヶ月後にそれが日本で、日本語の字幕付きとでも言うんでしょうかね、日本人向けに少し、改訂され編集されたものが翻訳として、出されるという、そのスピードはやはり昔では考えられなかったことだということをアタウさんは言っていました。そしてこれはいろんなことを意味するんですけれども、便利ということ以外に、一種の危機的な状況をも暗示しているわけなんですね。そういう通信網で全国、地球の津々浦々が縛られた場合、規格の統一などに伴って文化が、規格化、もしくは画一化されていくという恐れもあります。つまり世界のどこにいても共通のそのユーロドラーというのかマルクでもエキューでもいいんだけども、共通のその金儲けというのかな、共通の点数基準に走ってしまったがために全員がバントとか平均点しか打たなくなってホームラン打者が出にくくなるということなんですね。だからこそ、そういう場所にレジデンツのように生かしたというのは、これシャレの意味でも言ってるんですけれども、生かされたグループ、自分たちのアイデンティティを存在そのものを強く持っているグループがメッセージを発信しつつ、そのようなすでに最初は規格がされている状態のマーケットに参入することによって、そこにその多様性とかバリエーション、振幅幅というものを持たせることが、健全な方向へ戻していく、その一種の新たなる、振り子とでも言うのか、やじろべえの役割をになってくると嬉しいなというお話をしていました。日本スティオグループ Across the View、 この後はグローバルな音楽で午前3時まで進みます。
Capturing the essence of beauty. 81.3 J-Wave Non-stop。
地球が一つの生命体なら、その活動に欠かせないものを運ぶ作業はきっと血液。海上輸送から陸上システム分野まで地球の熱いエナジーを運びます。総合物流企業日鉄物流。
荒々しい波を受け止めるのが僕たちの仕事です。
穏やかで美しい水辺を提供するのが私たちの仕事です。
水と人との美しい調和。日本テトラポッドは明日を築く総合建設業です。
個性やそれに付随する、著作権の考え方を放棄したグループレジデンツ、彼らは非常に面白いクリエイティビティの側面を提供していると思われます。それはいわばそうですね、脱専門家とでも申しましょうか。つまり彼らが生きたバンド、もしくはグループとして変わっていく上で、それぞれのメンバーが、光に携わったり音に携わったりパフォーマンスに転じたりということが、結構自由にルーズなまでに許されているような気配があることです。ということは、彼らは専門的な芸術家の、コレクティブ集団ではありませんから、例えば歌手がですね、一時期、隆盛を迎え、大ヒットする時期を終えて今度は黄昏に入って、あとはノスタルジーの中でキャリアを終えていく、締めくくっていくという考え方とは本質的にレジデンツのあり方は違うわけなんですね。レジデンツは絶えず形式ごと現在とともに動いているグループであるわけです。ですから彼らの音楽が例えばここ何年か気に入らない人がいた場合、昔のレジデンツは良かったとか初期の頃のパワーは今は出せないよなとか、そういう言い方をするとこれらは彼らを専門家であるというふうに誤認した上での発言になってしまうわけなんですね。脱専門的であるレジデンツは要するにもし彼らの音に、ちょっかいを出したい場合、 本当にとりあえず一緒に作ってみたらどうというのが、今回のハワード・フリンさんじゃなくてホーマー・フリンさんだ。どうしてもハワード・フリンって言いたくなってんだよね。きっとアメリカの上院議員の立候補者がハワード・フリンというので、そのなんかプラカードをアメリカで国道で運転している時に散々暗示のように見せつけられたために、今頃これがですね7年殺して出てきてしまっているのかもしれませんね。私知らずに共和党に票を入れてたかもしれません。一応原則のポリシーとしてですね、共和党にも保守党にもここ8年か12年間その自分の参政権を得てから一度も投票してないんですね。それでそうだ、確かブッシュ再選の時に負けると分かってたけど一応マンデールに入れたような覚えはあったな。でもあの時確か登録間違いしてるから僕の票無効ですよ。ということはやっぱりちゃんとアクティブにどっちかに加勢したっていうのは、これがもし今度の選挙でやるとしたらアメリカ人として初めてになるわけですね。だけど私としては投票なんかするよりできればアメリカでも日本でもいいからどっかにこの世論としてものを書いてちょっとそういう影響の方が面白いんじゃないかとかね、今度の共和党保守党のその位置づけを音楽家たちは考えるというフォーラムを1900何年なのか96年度になるのかな、そっちの選挙に向けてね、なんかそういうオルグなんてしてみたいなんてね、それは冗談でございますけれども、とりあえずそのレジデンツの、あり方というものにね、もし疑問視している人がいるとすれば、もしくは疑問だけではなくて今から展開の余地があるじゃないかという人はレジデンツに近づいて、一緒に作ろうと、申し込めるような状態に彼らはいるというような雰囲気を聞きました。つまりね、これはねレジデンツが、とりあえず体現した一種の将来に向けての典型かもしれませんけれども、マルチメディアと言われている中でね、いくつか数少ないメリットが本質的にあるとすれば、それはアーティストがすでに表現意欲とか表現手段を獲得した人が、ある専門とかある専門カラーに縛られないということがあり得るわけですね。ですから例えばこれまで音楽をやってきた人がその感性をアニメーションに生かして、他のアニメーターや専門外の人たちと、とりあえずぶつかって一緒にやってみる。そしてそのぶつかり方が、CD ロム媒体の中などではより簡単になっています。お互いの、その楽器の一つ一つの音色や、音とか実際のそのマルチトラックのトラック1から3までと11番というふうに、それだけをお互いにスワッピングですね、例えば郵便で送り合うことすらできるわけです。そこまで深く、知らない人とコラボレーションができるネットワークの土壌というのは、確かに計り知れない新しい平野を提供しているように思われます。ですから本当に、面白くする意思があるのか、面白くなった東京を想定しての、会議というものをこの番組でもこれずっと催しているわけなんですけれども、一体面白くするために自分は何をできるのか、そこら辺のその見識がはっきりしている自分の個人的な自画像、ビジョンというものが、地に足がついている状態であれば面白くなること、受け合い、これが現在の状況が、示しているメッセージかもしれないです。 Across the View Non-Stop Global Music、 まずはこの一曲でスタート。
Why do they follow me? It's not the future that I can see. It's just my fantasy.
Universum voller Musik. 81.3 J-Wave.
Panorama Kota Raya yang damai. Across the view.
Uma explosão musical em todos os momentos. 81.3 FM Japão.
空き缶で作った管楽器の軽やかな響きが聞こえてきます。アフリカン、缶ピアノ、缶バイオリン、缶マリンバ、ハーモニカン。管楽器を演奏するのは作曲家で環境音楽やサウンドスケープを手掛ける吉村博さんです。空き缶に工夫を凝らし、箸で叩いたりバイオリンの弓で弾いたり、さまざまな形の空き缶が見事に管楽器へと変身します。新しい地球の歌に心ときめかせて。新日鉄。
Imagine and step into a new world. Nippon Steel.
ガスガイのプロポリスキャンディー。ヘルシーが美味しいプロポリスキャンディー。ミツバチからの贈り物プロポリスキャンディー。
蜂蜜オリゴ糖プロポリスエキス入り。
ガスガイのプロポリスキャンディー。
Attention, attention, vol 001, Concorde à destination de Tokyo, embarquement immédiat.
Pesan musik Bima Sakti, sumber daya jagat raya. Across the View는 이후에도 계속됩니다. 이어서 아름다운 멜로디를 당신에게 보내드려요.
Uma explosão musical em todos os momentos. 81.3 FM Japão.
Gerhana di antara waktu dan ruangan. 81.3 J-Wave.
the reception, a glass of wine in her hand. I knew she was gonna meet her connection. At her feet was a footloose man. You can't always get what you want. You can't always get what you want. You can't always get what you want. But if you try sometimes, well, you might find you get what you need. Oh, yeah. And I went there to the demonstration to get my fair share of abuse, singing we're gonna vent our frustration. If we don't, we're gonna blow a 50 amp fuse. Sing it to me. You can't always get what you want. You can't always get what you want. You can't always get what you want. But if you try sometimes, well, you just might find you get what you need. Oh, baby, yeah. Oh, I went down to the Chelsea drugstore to get your prescription filled. I was standing in line with Mr. Jimmy. A man, did he look pretty ill? We decided that we would have a soda. My favorite flavor, cherry red. I sung my song to Mr. Jimmy. Yeah, and he said one word to me, and that was there. I said to him, you can't always get what you want. No, you can't always get what you want. You can't always get what you want. No, but if you try sometime, you just might find you get what you need. Oh yeah. Woo! In her glass was a bleeding man. She was practiced at the art of deception. Well, I could tell by her bloodstained hands. You can't always get what you want. You can't always get what you want. You can't always get what you want. But if you try sometime, you just might find, you just might find, you get what you need. Oh yeah. Oh
new sound coming through.
Undeniable.
81.3 FM Japan.
زیبایی سیاره ها J-Wave در across the view.
FM Japan.
El más pacífico paisaje urbano. Across the view.
Luapan musik pelepas lelah 81.3 FM
81,3 J-Wave.
much to carry. And when life becomes too bizarre, and all my friends seem ordinary as compared to the Rastafari. No, I can't wait to see the city, have a drink inside my favorite bar. So if you leave me, that's a pity. Maybe I'm better off by far. Oh, Jamaica, hold me, come let your arms enfold me forever and ever. Someone told me love grows here in Jamaica, leaving you, how could I ever? As I ran for the ocean ferry, well, I knew I'd said my last goodbye, and now my life seems so contrary as the stars fill the evening sky. Oh.
قدرت زمین، زیبایی سیاره ها، J-Wave در Across the View.
FM Japan.
El más pacífico paisaje urbano, Across the View.
Luapan musik pelepas lelah 81,3 FM
81,3 J-Wave.
And something whispers soft and low when lovers let each other go. If you listen, you can hear the angels cry. Now deep inside the lonely night, I try to fight the pain, but this missing you is driving me so insane. Now I don't know just where to turn, 'cause your memory still burns, and no matter what I do or how I try, I know I'll always hear the angels cry. Hear the angels, ooh, hear them, hear the angels cry. So every now and then, I think that I can love again. I think that time has healed my heart. Don't ask me why, but when I feel his hands on me, I ask for you, and suddenly I can swear that I still hear the angels cry. Now in the shadows of my dreams, I'm making love to you, and I wake up and the truth comes crashing through. Now I don't know just where to turn, 'cause your memory still burns, and no matter what I do or how I try, I know I'll always hear the angels cry. Hear them, hear the angels, hear them, hear the angels cry. Hear the angels, hear them, hear the angels. Now I don't know just where to turn, 'cause your memory still burns, and I know I'm gonna love you till I die. I'm always gonna hear the angels. Whoa. Hear the angels, hear them, hear the angels cry. Hear the angels.
人は自由を出現させるときに、それを束縛のパターンの中であやとして織りなすようです。光と影が2つ白と黒のように、お互いに補い合って写真のイメージを、作って見せてくれるのと同じように、自分のこうありたいと願う状態と、そうではない状態の差とか、その2つが並んでいる状態こそが、現在の自分を現実として、手づかみ確かなものにしているのかもしれません。つまり私たちのその苦しみにしろ快楽にしろ、これらは表裏一体となって、自分というその場というのか、自分がここに確かに立っているんだなという、例えば地面に対して、踏みしばった時の抵抗感、自分の重力感というもの、これらのいろいろな感覚に、貢献しているのかもしれません。そして自分の、感情や妄想、夢であること、これが自分の存在をほとんどの場合規定しているわけなんですけれども、感情、妄想、夢、これらが全部本当に自分のものでまずあることが大切だと思われます。つまり、 もらい物として、家族とか、環境ですね、それから教育の過程、それから前世の因果などもありましょうが、こう自分が外部から、意識せずに、非常にその小さい時に自分の生きていく上での必要性とか、それから何も入っていない状態の意識というのかな、先入観がない子供の状態ですと非常に純粋に 100% 吸い取るように自分の目の前にある現実の模範を真似ることができるようになります。そしてその素形が自分の中に宿るわけなんですが、この中で本当に自分を表現する、自分が生まれてきた上で自分になるための感情や、妄想や夢というものは数少ないと思われます。それに至るためにこういわば石鹸をこすって中に入っている梅干しもしくは飴に至るための努力というのかな、これが例えば精進という言葉で言い表されると思います。で、西洋、東洋のいろいろなその心や体に携わるあり方で、方法論はあまたあるわけなんですけれども、とりあえず自分の何が自分のオリジナル、自分に近いものであって何がもらい物であるかというふうに自分を見つめたときに、まず、手っ取り早く分析という方法が考えられます。精神分析とかカウンセリングとか、いわゆる、精神医学、精神療法などで、西洋では非常にポピュラーになっていますね。これはもう何十時間何百時間と、カウンセラーにつきっきりになって、要するに愚痴を言い続ける。で、その中で自分の言っていることに自分がそれまで気づかなかったパターンがあるかをまず抽出して、そのパターンに法則性があるならば逆にその見えない機械の、バルブをいじっているような感じで、レバーをいじっているような感じで、うまいこと自分の心をいい方向に持っていけないかとする信念ですね。で、もう一つがその分析にとどまらず、この自分の中をこう見ていくという瞑想メディテーションのパターンです。これ東洋でポピュラーな、何千年来行われてきたやり方なのですが、とりあえず、自分のすべてを広いピクチャー、広い図、見取り図のように俯瞰して、空を飛んでいる鳥の目で、自分のすべてを、内世界を見渡すことができればおのずと答えが見えるだろうという考えです。これは非常に気長な考え方でもあるんですね。で、ほったらかしにしとくとただの怠け者になるという、リスクも、伴うやり方だと思われます。ですからいずれ分析にしろ、その瞑想にしろ、どの入り口から入っていくにしても最終的に、自分に至るために動くという決定が必要ですね。動いてさえいれば間違いこそが自分の旅になるのでしょう。明日の東京の天気は晴れになりそうです。日本食 Across the View、モーリー・ロバートソンでした。